Many of you watching this are parents who are already in or near retirement and who have been consciously or unconsciously relying on your children. And some of you have children who are watching this and thinking, how do I bring this up with my parents? But before that, let me ask you something that most people in India are too polite to say out loud. You have spent 30, maybe 35 years working. You have paid your EMIs. You have attended every wedding, every function, every obligation that society placed on your shoulders. And through all of it, quietly in the back of your mind, there was a plan. Not written anywhere, not discussed with any financial advisor, just assumed. The plan was your children. You paid for their school fees, their coaching classes, their college admission. You sent them abroad if you could, or gave them everything you had to make sure they had a good start. And the unspoken understanding, the one that has existed in Indian families for generations, was this: when the time comes, they will take care of me. I am not here today to tell you that your children do not love you. I am sure they do, deeply. But love and financial security are two very different things. And today we are going to have the conversation that your children cannot have with you, that your friends will not have with you, and that most financial advisors in India are too afraid to bring up because it feels disrespectful. The conversation is this: your children cannot be your retirement plan. And if you are counting on them to be, you may be heading toward a crisis that no one in your family will know how to handle. Stay with me, because the second half of this video is where we talk about exactly what to do instead. And the solutions are more practical, more achievable, and more dignified than you might think. To understand why this assumption is so deeply embedded in India, we need to go back a few decades. For most of Indian history, retirement as a concept did not really exist. You worked until you could not, and then the family took over. The joint family system was not just a cultural preference, it was an economic necessity. Multiple income streams, shared expenses, 3 generations under one roof. It worked because everyone lived close to each other, because careers were local, and because the economy did not offer many other options. But that world has changed completely, and it has changed in ways that most of us have not fully processed yet. Today, your son may be working in Bengaluru or Pune or Singapore or Toronto. Your daughter may have married into a family in another city. The physical proximity that the joint family system required simply does not exist for millions of Indian families anymore. And it is not just geography. The cost of urban life in India today is staggering. A young couple in Mumbai or Delhi with 2 children, a home loan, school fees, and their own parents to think about. They are stretched in ways that previous generations were not. They are not choosing to neglect you. They are genuinely, financially under pressure in ways you may not fully see from the outside. There is also something else. And this one is harder to say. Expectations around retirement care are quietly shifting in India, even if no one is talking about it. Studies done by organizations like HelpAge India have found that elder abuse, financial, emotional, and physical, has been rising in urban India. Not because children are cruel, but because money pressure breaks families in ways that love alone cannot fix. This is not a judgment. This is a reality. And the best thing you can do for your children and for yourself is to not put that pressure on them in the first place. Let me walk you through 3 real scenarios. The names are changed, the situations are not. Scenario 1. The NRI child Ramesh and Savitha retired in Mysuru in 2019. Their son Aaron had been living in the United States for 12 years. He sent money regularly, called every Sunday, and fully intended to come back to India eventually. The plan was always that Aaron would return by the time his parents really needed help. Then the pandemic happened. Then Aaron's company offered him a permanent role. Then his children started school in America, and pulling them out became harder. Aaron still sends money, but he is not coming back. Not anytime soon. And Ramesh and Savitha, now in their mid-70s, are managing alone. The money helps, but it does not replace someone being there. And financially, what Aaron sends is generous by Indian standards, but it is not consistent. When his own expenses spike, a car repair, a medical bill, a school fee, the transfer gets delayed. Ramesh and Savitha have no independent income stream. They have a fixed deposit that is slowly being consumed. Scenario 2. The daughter-in-law variable. Suresh worked for 30 years in a government job and retired with a modest pension. His pension was 18,000 rupees per month, enough when he retired in 2015, but inflation had quietly made it insufficient by 2023. His plan was to move in with his son Vikram, who lived in Hyderabad. Vikram was happy to help. But Vikram's wife had her own family obligations. Her parents were also aging. There was friction. Not dramatic, not cruel, but the kind of slow, quiet friction that builds when two families with different habits share a flat. Suresh began to feel like a guest in his own son's home. He told no one how unhappy he was. He did not want to burden anyone. He still lives there. He is not in danger, but his dignity has been quietly compromised in ways no one planned for. Scenario 3. The child who simply cannot. Priya's daughter Meghna wanted nothing more than to support her mother after her father passed away. Meghna was a teacher in a private school in Chennai, earning 35,000 rupees per month. Her husband earned 45,000 rupees. They had a home loan. They had one child in school. They had Meghna's mother-in-law also dependent on them. Priya needed 25,000 rupees per month to meet her basic needs: rent, food, medicines, utilities. Meghna gave what she could, but it left the young family dangerously thin every month. The guilt on both sides was immense. Priya felt like a burden. Meghna felt like a failure. Neither of them was at fault. The math simply did not work. These are not extreme cases. These are the quiet, everyday realities of dependency on children for retirement in modern India. Now let us talk numbers, because this is where the reality becomes impossible to ignore. Let us say you are 55 years old today. The average life expectancy in India has crossed 70, and for someone who has had reasonable access to healthcare, planning until 85 is the financially prudent thing to do. That means you potentially need income for 30 years after retirement. India's inflation rate has averaged between 5 and 7% over the last 2 decades. At 6% inflation, the purchasing power of money halves roughly every 12 years. What costs 50,000 rupees per month today will cost 1 lakh rupees per month 12 years from now, and over 2 lakh rupees per month 24 years from now. Let us say you need 40,000 rupees per month in today's money for a comfortable retired life. That includes rent or maintenance, food, medicines, utilities, and some travel and leisure. That number, adjusted for inflation over 20 years, becomes approximately 1.28 lakh rupees per month. To sustain 40,000 rupees per month in today's terms for 30 years, adjusted for inflation, you need a corpus of approximately 1.5 crore rupees to 2 crore rupees, depending on the return your investments generate. Now here is the question. Is your child in a position to give you 40,000 rupees per month consistently for 30 years while also managing their own home loan, their own children's education, their own retirement? The honest answer for most middle-class families in India is no. And that is not a character flaw, it is arithmetic. The good news, and this is important, is that building a 1.5 crore rupee corpus is completely achievable if you start early enough. At 35, you need to invest roughly 8,000 rupees per month in a diversified equity mutual fund, earning 12% annually to reach 1.5 crore rupees by age 60. At 45, that number rises to around 30,000 rupees per month for the same target. At 55, you are looking at significant lump sums or much higher monthly commitments. Time is the most powerful variable in this equation, and the earlier you accept that your children are not the plan, the more time you have to build the plan that actually works. Let's talk about practical solutions. Pillar 1. The National Pension System. If you're still employed, NPS is your strongest retirement tool. You get tax deductions up to 2 lakh rupees per year, 1.5 under Section 80C, plus 50,000 under 80 CCD1B. That's a deduction no other instrument offers. At retirement, you withdraw 60% tax-free. The remaining 40% becomes a guaranteed monthly pension for life. That's not a bonus feature. That's the entire architecture. It forces you to build your own pension. Equity-heavy allocations in NPS have historically delivered 10 to 12% returns. If you're in your 40s, that's the growth you need. Pillar 2. The Public Provident Fund. Everyone overlooks the PPF because of its 15-year lock-in, but that lock-in is why it works. 7.1% interest, fully tax-free, compound annually. Every rupee you earn is tax-free in a 30% tax bracket that's effectively 10% or more. Invest the maximum, 1.5 lakh per year, and after 15 years, you've got 41 lakh. Entirely tax-free, it's sovereign guaranteed. The government has never missed a payment. Pillar 3. Senior Citizens Savings Scheme. For ages 60 and above, 8.2% per annum, one of the highest guaranteed returns in India. 30 lakh invested here gives you roughly 20,000 rupees per month. That's income, not corpus building. Once you retire, this scheme converts your savings into a guaranteed income stream. Pillar 4. Equity mutual funds and the systematic withdrawal plan. Fixed deposits don't beat inflation. 7% returns with 6% inflation means you're barely moving. Large cap funds, 11 to 13% over 10-year periods. That's wealth that actually grows. And here's the elegant part: the systematic withdrawal plan. Accumulate 75 lakh in a balanced fund. Set up a withdrawal of 30,000 per month. The fund redeems units and sends money to your account. If the fund grows faster than you withdraw, the corpus sustains indefinitely. That gives you 30 to 50,000 per month for 20 or 30 years, without depending on anyone. Pillar 5. Health insurance. This one is not optional. Medical inflation in India runs at 14% annually. A major surgery costs 3 to 20 lakh rupees. Without insurance, a single health event wipes out years of savings. Buy comprehensive coverage, at least 10 lakh rupees, preferably 20, before you turn 65. Premiums are still reasonable. After 60, they jump. Look for policies that cover pre-existing conditions, offer no-claim bonuses, and have a wide hospital network. Don't rely on Ayushman Bharat alone. 5 lakh per family isn't enough for complex procedures. Health insurance is your most important retirement protection, because without your health, everything else disappears in one hospitalization. Now there is one more thing I want to address directly. Many of you watching this are parents who are already in or near retirement and who have been consciously or unconsciously relying on your children. And some of you have children who are watching this and thinking, how do I bring this up with my parents? The conversation needs to happen, and it needs to be had with love and clarity, not guilt and accusation. If you are a parent, what your children need to hear from you is this: I am taking responsibility for my own retirement. I am building a plan. I do not need you to sacrifice your financial security for mine. I want us to be close because we love each other, not because I need your money. That sentence is a gift to your child. It removes a burden they may be quietly carrying but never saying out loud. If you are a child, what your parents need to hear from you is not a lecture about financial planning. It is an invitation. Sit with them. Look at what they have. Help them understand what these instruments are and how to start using them. Many parents who have not done retirement planning have not done it because no one showed them the way. The goal is not independence as a rejection of family. Indian family values, togetherness, care, respect for elders, are worth preserving. The goal is financial independence as the foundation that makes genuine togetherness possible. When you are not financially desperate, family relationships become what they were always meant to be: expressions of love, not transactions of obligation. Let me close with something concrete. Not in 6 months, not next year, this week. Step 1. Calculate your retirement number. Take your current monthly expenses, multiply by 12, and then multiply by 25. That gives you a rough target corpus using the 4% rule adjusted for Indian conditions. If your monthly need in today's money is 50,000 rupees, your target corpus is approximately 1.5 crore rupees. Step 2. Open an NPS account if you do not already have one. You can do it online through the eNPS portal in under 30 minutes with your Aadhaar and PAN. Start with whatever you can, even 2,000 rupees per month. The habit matters more than the amount right now. Step 3. Check your health insurance coverage. If you do not have a personal policy beyond what your employer provides, get one this month. Remember, once you retire, your employer's group policy disappears. You need your own. Step 4. Start a PPF account if you do not have one. Deposit whatever you can before April 5th of each financial year. Interest is calculated on the lowest balance between the 5th and end of month, so early deposits earn more. Step 5. Talk to your family. Not a dramatic confrontation, a simple, loving conversation. Tell them you are working on your retirement plan. Ask them to support that goal by not expecting or offering financial dependency. Frame it as a gift you are giving each other.